Good morning, everyone. It is week 4. Can you believe it? And we are reading Charlotte's Web this week. Also, a little bit of Russell. I gave you guys a preview of that last week, so hopefully you're kind of braced for it. But what you want to do is edit your original post by this Tuesday to reflect your reading up to chapter 10, and you can see the instructions in the discussion post that you shared in on Sunday night. And then by Thursday, you should finish Charlotte's Web and complete your post with a final edit reflecting that full reading. In addition to that, you are going to make an original, you'll reply to each other by Sunday within the Charlotte's Web discussion, and then you'll make an original post in level 4, which exposes us to the John Newbery Medal Award and a little conversation about Charlotte's Web, and kicks us off for the following week. But essentially, this week is all about Charlotte's Web. So that should be straightforward. I hope to get in at some point and give you guys some comments and credit for the poetry discussion that you had last week. And if you just be prepared that those will probably be shorter comments, because I gave you guys more lengthy comments for levels 1 and 2, and then I'll chime in with lengthier comments in response to your Charlotte's Web work. So just for fun, I want to share a couple of things with you. This weekend, I went to Kalama, Washington, and visited the Community Resource Building because there was a reading event being offered. And so 3 children's book authors were there, and they did a live reading of their books, and it was very special and neat to just see the authors of different works share their works. And specifically, there's a book that's coming out tomorrow, but it was pre-released at this event, and it's called Namaste is a Greeting. And the author, her name is Suma, and she was there reading, and it was a really neat experience because she shares this cultural element. What does this word mean to her and to her the people of her heritage, to her personally? And so in one page in the book, it shows, I think it's like up to 15 different languages and how to say hello. And it's really a beautiful book. But anyway, after the reading, I went up and visited with Suma about her book, and it's her first picture book that she's ever released. So that was fun to be able to congratulate her on her accomplishment. And I shared what I do in teaching this course. And she said, I'd be happy to do a 15-minute free Zoom Q&A or a workshop with your students. And so I thought, I'll just tack that on here at the end of the recording and ask you guys if you want to Google Namaste is a Greeting and see what that book is. And just let me know, is that something that you would want me to schedule? Would you attend? And if we did create something like that, it'd be great if you could preview the book, and then we could prep some questions or things that we could ask Suma to provide in that free conference. But it's a really, really cool opportunity that she offered to us. I also wanted to circle back a little bit to level 2. And a lot of you looked at the book Where the Wild Things Are, which is considered a classic in the history of children's literature. One of the reasons being that book reflects a massive shift in supporting and understanding children and their emotional development. And to be honest, I feel the same way about that book that I did about Goodnight Moon. It just did not make any sense to me, honestly. And now that I have a child and I'm watching him interact with the story, I'm finding these books to be more endearing, and I'm understanding how they've been elevated to the status that they hold. So this last week, I picked up Where the Wild Things Are because I didn't own it. It's just embarrassing. I picked it up, and I was reading your replies every day. I was going through and commenting on your work, and then every night I'm reading Where the Wild Things Are to Hilo. And he loves it. You can just tell when a child likes one book more than others. And he says, what's that? What's that? Oh, it's a wild thing. And there's something about it that's very intriguing and very beautiful. But it also, this is what I wanted to share with you, it also took me back a little bit to level 1. And some of you said that you were surprised that you had completely maybe overlooked or underestimated the importance of the Bible and the Bible stories as a part of the history of literature for children. But really, the Bible is foundational to a lot of literary studies. And when I was reading Where the Wild Things Are, I couldn't help but notice how there are associations with the story of the prodigal son, the return of the prodigal son, and how the mom receives Max very quietly. She's not present, but the supper is still warm, in this loving and forgiving way, in this embracing parental way. And in the story of the prodigal son, the son returns to the father, and essentially he went off and wanted to be king of his own world and, kind of threw a fit. But then he comes home and the father greets him, like runs to him and greets him with a hug, and then serves him a banquet meal, like throws a party and feeds him. So I just think that it's important to pick up on these little parallels and how all the pieces come together, and how, the foundation of the history of children's literature still exists across these classic moments that are so far away from those origin moments. I thought that would be interesting to share. If you want to share anything, feel free to comment below. This stuff that I'm talking about right now is just extra, but it's the fun stuff that we don't have to miss out on just because we are not in a classroom where we can banter at the beginning or the end of the session. So whatever you guys want to chime in on about, go for it. And if not, that's fine too. Have a great week. Email me if you have any questions or comments or want to chat about anything at all. I hope you guys are having fun with this. I'm having a ton of fun getting to know you and reading your thoughts about these materials.